Hello, Days of Our Lives fans. This is for Monday, June 3rd. Please subscribe, like, if share it on your profiles if you know someone who would enjoy it. Stephen and Kristen are having lunch, and he's telling her I gave Melinda Trask all the information. At first she declined it, and then she said she'd look over it, but she doesn't see any basis to reopen Lee's case. And Kristen said, well, didn't Melinda used to have a big crush on you? He said, yeah. Why? What are you saying? I should sleep with her to get her to open the case? And Kristen's like, well, you know. And he said, I love my wife. I love Gabby, and I am not going to sleep with Melinda Trask to get her out of jail. And Kristen's like, well, you slept with Ava now, didn't you? And he said, how did you know that? And she said, well, you may be discreet, but Ava, not so much. And he's very angry about that. Alright, so Leo's going to finish his conversation with EJ there in front of the pub, and he's like, it just doesn't make sense to me, you know, why you would pay me to shut up instead of telling your wife and grabbing that little baby. And he said, EJ told him he was just trying to protect her. He wanted to make sure the baby was actually hers. And he did do the DNA test. Kate and Roman are having a so-so day. You know, Roman's really stressed out about Eric, worried about him. They all hate losing little Jude. So in comes Leo. I'll have some clam chowder. And Roman just looks at him, and he tells him, you know, I know about you blackmailing Sloan when you knew that baby was Nicole's all along. And he told Leo pretty much, you're not welcome here. You're not getting no clam chowder or nothing else from this restaurant. You can get out. And Leo tried all kinds of, you know, excuses, but none of them flew by Roman. So, you know, Rafe was getting ready to arrest Trask. He said, put your hands behind your back. And she said, I don't think so. You just gonna let your sister rot in jail? So she told him that she's the only one that knows where that information is about the little black book, and if he locks her up, it ain't never gonna see the light of day, and Gabby's gonna die in prison. So he agreed to shut up, and she said he was going to have to sign a non-disclosure or something, I don't know. And he said, but I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you in that jail, and I'm going to throw away the key. You know, Melinda's like, yeah. So, you know, Nicole's still on her high horse. Eric walked in, and she's telling her, oh, she just came over here telling me how bad she felt and everything. And she tells Eric, you know, y'all just don't know the whole story. And I felt bad, and I just wanted to tell you. And she even called Nicole a hypocrite. And Nicole said, I don't care what you say. I'm going to call the cops. Well, in comes EJ. And imagine his shock and surprise when he sees Sloan, who he thought was in Timbuktu by now. You know, and he's like, Sloan, what are you doing here? So she ends up talking to all of them. And they're all so angry at her. And, of course, Nicole's up on that, you know, high horse she lives on. And EJ takes her outside, says he's taking her down to be arrested, and he yanks her out there, and he said, did I just hear you getting ready to tell Eric that there was more to the story? And she says, well, I just feel like he needs to know. And he said, let me make this clear to you. You know, you had better never open your mouth. So he pretends, I mean, she's trying to make some sense to him, you know, that she just wants Eric to know that this baby's his, but that's going to throw her in prison because EJ's not going to let her slide if she does that. So EJ, they take a flower pot and bust it on the floor, and Eric comes out, and EJ's laying down like Sloan hit him in the head and took off. And EJ's like, well, she went over that way, I think. And Eric's like, are you sure you're okay? And he's like, yeah, man, just go after her. So then Sloan comes from outside the bushes, and she says, thank you, EJ. He said, don't thank me. You get out of here, and if you ever open your mouth, I'll kill you.